currently all at the assembly for the madrigals singing, and I'm going to read chapter 10 of 39 Clues to you, and I'm going to send it to you and hope you get a chance to watch it tonight, because I really want to be able to give Avon his final badge for his book battle lanyard. And to do that, we have to get through 39 clues before Friday, which we won't do unless you guys watch some of it at home. So here we go, chapter 10. Alistair O was just leaving customs when his enemies ambushed him. Bonjour, Uncle. Ian Cabra appeared on his right. Have a good fight? Alistair turned to the left, but Natalie Cabra cut off his escape. I wouldn't try to get away, Uncle Alistair, she said sweetly. It's amazing how many weapons I can carry through an airport. Okay, we know a couple of things. Ian and Natalie Cabra are at the airport, so is Alistair O, and they have run into him, and they're not being nice to each other. She held up a china doll in a blue satin dress. Natalie was too old to be carrying something like that, but no doubt she could charm the security guards into thinking otherwise. Remember, the Cabras are very beautiful. What is that? Alistair asked, trying to stay calm. A gun? A bomb? Natalie smiled. I hope you don't have to find out. It would be quite messy. Keep walking, Uncle. Ian put as much sarcasm into the word as possible. We don't want to arouse suspicion. They strode through the terminal. Alistair's heart pounded. He could feel the poor Richard's almanac in his jacket pocket, slapping against his chest with every step. So, Alistair said, when did you get in? Oh, we took our own jet, Ian said. We use a private airstrip where the security is much more relaxed, and we just thought we'd come to welcome you. How nice, Alistair said, but I don't have anything you want. That's not what we've heard, Natalie said. Hand over the book. Alistair's throat went dry. How could you possibly know? News travels fast, Natalie said. We have informants. Informants are people that tell on other people. Natalie, Ian snapped. I'll do the talking, thank you very much. You hold the doll. She scowled, which made her face not nearly as pretty. I can talk I want to, Ian. Mother and Father said. Blast what they said. I'm in charge. Natalie looked ready to yell back at him, but she swallowed her rage. Alistair did not like the tight grip she was keeping on the doll. He imagined the thing must have a trigger somewhere, and he didn't want to find out what it did. Surely you don't want another war between our branches, Alistair said, trying to sound diplomatic. One phone call, and I can mobilize help from Tokyo and Rio de Janeiro. As can we, Ian said. And I've read my family history, Alistair. The last time our branches fought, it didn't go very well for your branch, did it? Alistair kept walking, thinking hard. A gendarme was standing by a security checkpoint up ahead, about 20 meters. If Alistair could create a distraction, we need to know what a gendarme is. Just one moment. Let me ask Echo. Echo, what is a gendarme?
Gender refers to the socially and culturally determined roles and
Echo,
behaviors
stop.
associated with being a man or a woman.
Echo, stop. Echo, define. Gendarme. Echo, define. Gendarme.
A gendarme is a type of police officer who is employed in several European countries, with the French police force being a common example. Gendarmes are responsible for maintaining public order and enforcing the law. They are typically dressed in a uniform that distinguishes them from other law enforcement agencies.
Echo, stop. A gendarme is how you say it, and they are a French police officer, which makes sense because in the last chapter we learned that everybody's going to be heading to Paris, which is in France. So that makes perfect sense. So Alistair's walking through the airport. Natalie and Ian are bothering him. And Alistair sees up ahead a gendarme, or a French police officer. Okay, let's keep reading. If Alistair could create a distraction. The 1908 explosion in Siberia, he said to Ian. Yes, that was very impressive. But we have more at stake this time. Exactly, Ian agreed. So hand over the book, you old man, before we have to hurt you. Natalie laughed. If you could hear yourself, Ian, honestly. Her brother frowned. Excuse me? 5 meters to the gendarme. Alistair thought, stay calm. Oh, nothing, Natalie told her brother airily. It's just that you're a terrible bore. Without me, you couldn't even frighten this pathetic old man. Ian's expression hardened. I most certainly could, you useless little... Natalie stepped in front of Alistair, intent on confronting her brother, and Alistair saw his chance. He stepped backwards, then sideways, and before the Cobras could regroup, Alistair was standing next to the gendarme, talking as loudly as he could in French. Merci, niece and nephew, he shouted at the Cobras. But your parents will be worried. Run along now. Tell them I'll be out in a few minutes. I have some questions for this officer. I may have forgotten to declare my fresh fruits in customs. Fresh fruits, the officer said. Sir, that's very important. Come with me, please. Alistair shrugged apologetically to the Cobras. He found a way to get away from them. Nice. You must excuse me. Ian's eyes were so angry they looked like they might catch fire, but he managed a stiff smile. Of course, Uncle, don't worry. We will definitely catch you later. Come, Natalie, he said her name through clenched teeth. We have to talk. Ow! She yelped as he gripped her arm, but he herded her down the hallway and out of sight. Alistair sighed with relief. He followed the gendarme gratefully back to customs, where after 20 minutes of questions and searching bags, Alistair realized, quite surprisingly, that he did not have any fresh fruit in his baggage after all. He pretended to be a confused old man, and the irritated customs officer let him go. Back in the terminal, Alistair allowed himself to a smile. Ian and Natalie Cobra may have been deadly opponents, but they were still children. Alistair would never let himself be outfoxed by youngsters like them, not when his own future and the future of his branch were at stake. He patted poor Richard's almanac, still safe in his jacket pocket. Alistair doubted that any other team knew more about the 39 clues than he did. After all, he had been spying on Grace for years. He did not know that. Learning her purpose, there was still a lot that he didn't understand, secrets that he hoped Grace had given to her grandchildren. But soon he would find out. He was off to an excellent start. He now understood the true meaning of the first clue, Richard S.'s resolution. He had to chuckle about that. Even Amy and Dan had failed to see what it really meant. He made his way through the terminal, keeping his eyes open for the Cobras, but they seemed to have vanished. He got outside and was dragging his bags toward the taxi stand when a purple van pulled up to the curb. The side door rolled open. A cheerful male voice said, "Hey there!" The last thing that Alistair O saw was a large fist hurtling toward his face. Someone punched out Alistair O when he got out of the airport. Who do you think it could be? Do you think it might be Ian Cobra? Irina Spassky? Maybe it's Jonah Wizard? We don't know. It's probably one of the other teams. Or it could be the Man in Black. I thought this chapter was interesting because We didn't just found out that Alistair has been spying on Grace Cahill for years. He probably knows a lot of secrets. It might make him the most likely to win the competition. We're going to have to find out. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Bye.